Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's ghost may be haunting the halls of Parliament, but it's Mark Carney and his Liberal cronies who are now strangling our economy with the same tired playbook of red tape, green fantasies, and outright hostility to the very industries that built this nation, oil and gas. And a coalition of the boldest leaders in the energy sector just called on him to immediately change course. Let's dig in. Right off the hop, let's just get it out there that oil and gas aren't dirty words, despite what radical green agendas preach. They're the lifeblood, fueling not just our economy, but the very technologies touted as revolutionary and sustainable, powering Canada so it can remain strong and prosperous while, also ensuring that we don't freeze to death in the depths of our cold and harsh winters. But under the Liberals' rule, it's been treated like a criminal enterprise, choked by regulations that kill jobs, crush innovation, and chase away billions in investment. And now a coalition of the boldest leaders, 96 CEOs to be exact, in Canada's energy sector are sounding the alarm with an open letter highlighting Liberal incompetence. Titled Build Canada Now, it's a battle cry for every hardworking Canadian tired of watching the economy bleed out on the altar of climate pipe dreams. This letter was sent directly to the Prime Minister earlier this week, and it gets right to the heart of the matter. Addressed to Mark Carney himself, it reminds him that 6 months ago, these industry leaders laid out a blueprint to unleash our world-class oil and natural gas resources. They backed Carney's vision of a so-called Canada as an energy superpower, but it's mostly just been lip service from this government since day one. A few baby steps like a new major projects office and Indigenous Advisory Council. It's like a drip when a flood of progress is needed, a flood of jobs and growth by finally unleashing the oil and gas sector. The open letter slams the Liberals for policies that have turned Canada into a global laughingstock, a place where investors flee faster than you can say carbon tax. Listen to this key line here. Canada still lacks the clear, competitive, and durable fiscal and regulatory policies required to achieve the so-called grand bargain. That's basically code for your emissions cap, your tanker bans, and endless reviews are a joke. They're not saving the planet, they're sinking the ship. And then there's this. The Federal Impact Assessment Act and West Coast tanker ban are impeding development and need to be overhauled and repealed, respectively. That's right, overhauled and repealed. Because right now, these Liberal fever dreams turn simple projects into decades-long sagas of subjective nonsense. And these energy leaders did the Liberals' homework for them. They laid out an urgent action plan, if Carney has the guts to follow it. Step 1 is to simplify regulations. No more bureaucratic black holes and red tape. Step 2, commit to firm deadlines for project approvals. Months, not years. Step 3, grow production, not limit it. Ditch that unlegislated emissions cap that's already whispering production cuts to every boardroom in Calgary. Step 4, attract investments with a fiscal framework that's globally competitive. Repeal the carbon levy on big emitters and let provinces lead, for heaven's sake. And step 5, incentivize Indigenous co-investments with loan guarantees at scale. So First Nations aren't just consulted, they're partners in the payoff. This isn't some fringe rant or fringe group. These are voices of giants. The original signatories read like a who's who of Canada's energy muscle. Rich Kruger, president and CEO of Suncor Energy. That's the company powering your daily commute. Greg Ebel of Enbridge, the pipeline powerhouse keeping our energy flowing. These aren't activists. They're achievers who've built empires. With almost 100 signatures, even industry associations are piling on. They're united, unapologetic, and utterly done with the Liberals' war on Canada's wealth creation. Prime Minister Mark Carney waltzed in with his banker swagger, promising to shift from uncertainty to prosperity.
Our new government is embarking on an ambitious plan to secure a new era of prosperity out of this age of adversity.
But once again, saying one thing but doing another, and here's the gut punch from the letter. Without clear and urgent action, we risk missing a generational opportunity to capture the potential before Canada Now. The Liberals' green pipe dreams have already cost us a decade of delayed investments, lost opportunities, and a competitive disadvantage on the global scale. Productivity is in the toilet, jobs are vanishing, innovation is buried under impact assessment avalanches. And for what? Virtue signaling at UN cocktail parties while families barely scrape by. This is Prime Minister Carney's moment. As Parliament kicks off its fall sitting, these leaders are committing to working with Carney, his cabinet, and the provinces. But let's be crystal clear. If he keeps peddling the same Liberal poison, capping growth, taxing ambition, and prioritizing things like the Paris Accord and their fantasies over paychecks, he's not just failing the energy sector, he's failing all of us.
So we see becoming low carbon in any industry as being a key driver of competitiveness.
From the oil sands to the corner store, we're all collateral damage in the Liberal crusade against common sense. So, Mr. Prime Minister, the ball's in your court. Respond to this letter not with more task forces, but with action. Repeal the bans, slash the timelines, unleash the resources. Build Canada Now, or watch as the superpower dream dies on your watch. To the signatories, thank you for standing tall. And to every Canadian, rise up, speak out, and demand the prosperity we deserve. Because this isn't just about oil and gas. It's about our sovereignty, our resilience, and our future. For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. Globalists, like our own Prime Minister, are pushing a green reset by manipulating us to transition from fossil fuels to so-called green energy and renewables. The shift is unneeded, unwanted, unaffordable, and unacceptable. If you agree, then please sign our petition at nogreenreset.com. That's nogreenreset.com.